In this stream obsessed world, do you miss DVD commentary tracks? Well, fear not, because I, Von Fred, the most scorned critic on YouTube, is here to give you commentaries for the films that we love and sometimes love to hate. Tonight, we've got from 1999, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Directed by Jay Roach, this of course stars Mike Myers and the lovely Heather Graham. And before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at CalderaLab.com, makers of the finest men's skincare. Dr. Evil really could have used this on that scar. I'm not saying it has any healing properties, but if you want to try their latest, like the Body Bar or their original, the Good Serum, use my promo code FRY15, save 15% at checkout. Okay, we've got our popcorn ready. I've got an IBC root beer, and I'm trying something a little bit different here. I haven't tried this before, but I got this new Pelican personal cooler, and it has a magnetic catch for your bottles. So we're going to try that. Here goes. Let's listen for this ASMR moment. Hey, that's pretty cool. It caught, because like last time, the bottle cap went flying, but hold on, I got to put this away. Switch that out and grab my popcorn, and we are going to start our show. If you want to watch along to Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me on Netflix, go to 0000 and hit play now. Rated PG-13, man. We talk about things you couldn't make today. Ooh. I guess Austin Powers in the world of cancelization is a possibility. Austin Powers gets canceled. All right, so this is the second leg of what I believe is an unblemished trilogy. We are playing up Star Wars here because this being 1999, the return of Star Wars with the Phantom Menace, and they even had a commercial. If you see one movie this summer, see Star Wars. If you see two movies this summer, see Austin Powers. I made this awesome popcorn. I've got a little bit of Reese's Pieces in there, pink Himalayan salt. You know, I was wondering, in the lead up to this, didn't see a whole lot of Vanessa. Not a lot of Elizabeth Hurley. We're seeing this Heather Graham, and I'm like, kind of like, who's she? Where's she come from? What's... An egg comes out of the butt. Dr. Evil is coming back to strike. Meanwhile, yeah, we left them in the honeymoon suite. Wow. Really right where they left off, isn't it? I mean, Elizabeth Hurley looks really, really banging here still, doesn't she? Oh my goodness. There definitely was a fun element to her being kind of repulsed by him because she was the modern 90s woman. Oh, it feels like you're in a glitch, doesn't it? But you don't see those glitches in a film. That's more of a VHS thing. Something's off. Man, I could grow out that chest hair if I wanted. I really could. In Like Flint. Definitely one of the inspirations for this. Keep rewinding. She'll take her clothes off. Wow. I'll tell you, man. This is Elizabeth Hurley at the height of her powers. This and the International Man of Mystery. Really, prior and after, I didn't really find her that great looking, but Jay Roach Director of this knows how to make some women look good. You should see his wife. I don't recall that looking so plastic. The fact that she's a fembot with this face peeled off here, but she's got the machine gun jubblies. Got to protect that pump. This is probably the evilest thing Dr. Evil has done. So, shockingly enough, it turns out Vanessa was a fembot this whole time. Basil was aware, and that's kind of funny. They just kind of brushed that aside. I think that this is the lesser of the three movies. It seems so random. You actually had some kind of heartfelt moments in the first film and slightly in the second film. I don't feel like you ever get that in this one. So they make it a joke of writing out Vanessa because we want to try to be like James Bond, and James Bond has a new woman each movie until Daniel Craig shows up. Ah, yes, the naked montage. Now, I haven't seen this movie in quite a while. Yeah, it's definitely been some time. I would say easily 10 years. It's weird to think like when you go back and you watch some of these older films and you see them and you think, oh yeah, this used to play on cable TV all the time. What the hell plays on cable TV? Is anybody watching movies on cable? I said naked montage, but really it's the fun with censorship opening credits. And we don't have fun opening credits anymore, do we? Thanks a lot, Marvel Studios. And Elizabeth Hurley as Vanessa. Rip. Now, I did see that Pentaveret, which I kept wanting to call Pentaveret, but you see some of this come up in that, and like, I mean, he likes having his naked fun censorship, though it not as censored on over there on Pentaveret Netflix. Not a real baby, come on. Now, I am confused by, if I remember right, the next scene here. He's got to go do a photo shoot. But it's like, you know, everybody kind of knows and embraces Austin Powers, but and it's really never clarified. Is he a fashion photographer is he a famous fashion photographer as a cover? Or does everybody think he's a spy, knows he's, an agent? Because there needs to be a secret for you to be a spy, right? Produce Demi Moore. Kind of in the shadows, but yeah, if maybe he's a famous agent who has a hobby as a fashion photographer. Like, it's kind of strange. This one, you can see a lot of the money on the screen. Noticeably more expensive than the first film. Christopher McDonald, right? The guy who got steamrolled. I think that a lot of the comics in this, they probably were groundlings. Like, because Mindy Sterling taught classes for the groundlings. She was in the groundlings. So I'm thinking he was one of her pupils. Being on Mad TV. Hey, you're not busy for a day. Come do a shoot. Oh, right. The Jerry Springer. This is good. Dr. Evil really steals the show in this movie. I mean, yeah, Dr. Evil is good in the first film, but Dr. Evil and the antics in this one really kick it up a notch. Jerry Springer just passed away, man. I didn't think about that when I wanted to get through this, because the third film features Tom Cruise, and then I would do Top Gun Maverick. Be like, look, it ties in, but no, here's Jerry Springer. And you may not relate to this, but man, late 90s, Jerry Springer was a big deal. Like, everybody knew about this. They didn't necessarily watch. They knew it was trashy. Someone thought it was scripted. He's back. Not evil enough, huh? Gonna say the Diet Coke of evil? Yeah. There we go. Not evil enough. Yeah. Wait, was Diet Coke 0 calories? Bring in the evil people and their disappointing kid. It's funny how he like walks away. Okay. And then he goes back into fighting. Terrible form. I'm okay. Doesn't really extend the arms. It's terrible. And here comes the chairs. Get this jerk out of here. Oh. Should we be worried about Dr. Evil if he's... The world is... Here we go. We've got the... I don't think... maybe Ming T is not featured in this, but Ming T, the band, Austin Powers was birthed from the concept. Playing some... yeah, sadly, we knew all along. Well, why'd you recruit her? Why is she an agent? What the hell? What about her mom? One of the models works for Dr. Evil. I guess you need to figure it out, huh? I think he is... I should have been keeping a closer eye. I think that might be a Series 2. Yeah, that's a Series 2 Jaguar XKE. I think he had a Series 1 in the first movie because the Series 2 doesn't come out, I think, till after 67. Rebecca Romijn. Stamos. If we're being completely honest here, she's probably the best supermodel actress. She's not terrible in anything, and I think she's actually good as Mystique. This gal, oh, I forgot her name. Kristen. Is it Kristen Johnson? Maybe she is from Third Rock from the Sun. And even taller than Rebecca Romijn. Yeah, so I'm wondering, do they both know he's an agent? Like, he doesn't seem to be too concerned about concealing this. He knows how to direct the photo shoot, right? How to get the inspiration. Oh man, there's some just the little stuff. Just I'm shooting myself. It's crazy. Just little things. Comes at you pretty quick. Starbucks was getting to be really big, so we got to have Starbucks incorporated in here somehow. He survived the laser-equipped sharks. We don't get a lot of Robert Wagner in the third film. I think only in the credits. Now I understand just profits here. And by the way, you would make a lot of dough with Starbucks. Why can I know German better than when I was taking it in college and high school? I believe the unibrow gal just gets dropped altogether. Oh, that's a milk mustache, all right. Frozen again? You mean while he was in space? Or do you want to say while he was frozen? Because he was... Or you did the cloning back before the first movie? Or how are we doing this? Mini-Me. Big sensation. Pretty quotable movie. Do we have quotable movies anymore? We already have a chair ready. One thing I don't like about Mini-Me is it really sidelines Mr. Bigglesworth. You want a Hot Pocket? Vern Troyer's got a pretty easy gig here. No talking. I just want to know a little bit. It's kind of like taking care of Grogu, isn't it? The child. Why, yes, it has been thwarted by Austin Powers, or rather some chick working with him. Scott, ooh. Mini-Me picks up quick. We have to capture his mojo, right? That is what the French say. I don't know what. Explaining concepts to them they're aware of with the quotes here, yes. And reinforcement from hyper-loyal Mini-Me. Everybody gives him a better suggestion, but he's not taking it. I do not take suggestions. Now, if you went to even 1999 and you played the stock market, imagine the dough you could rack up. This is Big Long Stocking. I don't remember that. I tell my mom to zip it like this occasionally. And then the gibberish in brackets. Nice. I like how these gags, they go on too long. But not really. You don't know when they're going to end, but they end just in time. And here we go with the time machine. Kaboom. That is Mike Myers taking that fall. Now, it's not a staircase. He has a ramp. It could have been really bad with a staircase. What? No Mr. Bigglesworth? See what I'm saying? Mini-Me gets to go. I like their effect for this. Freeze frame, spin, and then it really kicks into that kind of 3D, 4D look, doesn't it? Rob Lowe, I think he's here because, he must have struck up a friendship with Mike Myers on the set of Wayne's World, the film, 1992, where he's kind of a villain. The same. You look right. I need to say that. Yep, we're in a hollowed out volcano. Okay, cosplay idea. Somebody's Dr. Evil. Henchman with the red cap. Accompany them. There you go. Actually, more like couple's costume. Dr. Evil and Frau. I could see that working. Clearly, the CGI's gotten better, right? More ambitious effects. So about this Ming T band, we've got, it's basically Mike Myers and the lead singer of the Bangles, who's married to Jay Roach, who is like one of the hottest babes ever, and I forgot her name just now, and I feel ashamed because I was looking at her Instagram just yesterday, so I gotta look this up. Come on, I'm gonna feel stupid. And I know I mentioned this probably the previous commentary. What do we... Susanna Hoffs. How can I forget that? I mean, you look back at some of these older films and you kind of just go, people were a little skinnier, right? I mean, Thorough from the Sun gal, she's a big gal, but she doesn't, I kind of thought that her being a hot model here was supposed to be the joke, like the gag itself. Like, why her? But instead, I'm kind of understanding it. So, not really the sexy way to play chess here. Your fembot wife just died this morning. And you're ready to go. Yeah, yep, there's the word, yep. You find me so sexy, gotcha. Look, if the chest hair was all it took, I could do that. I could do that for you, gals. So I'm assuming Rob Lowe, or number 2, he's had the eye patch for the longest time. Like, he's had it in at least since 69. I love the fun with the chair. Chair with a joystick, yes. Fat Bastard, also quite a sensation. People were not really sure what to say regarding Fat Bastard. Like, can we even say that on TV? And nowadays, you pretty much can. If he weighs a metric ton, he has to be an X-Men, because he is not big enough for a metric ton. In fact, we're calling that Fat Bastard. That's more like Average Joe now, isn't it? Wow, that's depressing. Baby, the other white meat, yes. Okay, so how come the gas didn't knock you out? You are the one playing the instrument. Gotta extract the mojo. Where you find it, I don't know. Is it buried in the chest hair? Is it in the crotch? What is it? I think the Scottish do say Sonny Jim like that. Or maybe the Australians do. Uh-oh. And the weird time travel rules, that it happens... What happens in real time in the past affects him later. We need a time machine. This will be a perfect moment for product placement. The new Beetle. I think the Beetle returned in 98. Or for the 98 model year. I say I think, but... Mentioning the audience. Okay, just you guys don't nitpick the plot. Interesting. Real lampshade hanging right there. That always bothered me. The way the car moves backwards, and it's kind of... I know it's silly, but it's like, why does it have this trailing effect about it when he's right when he reverses it that first time? The trailing A-pillar. Like they didn't do that in camera. You got to hope that works. Yeah. Now, a few things to keep in mind regarding the soundtrack. We got Steppenwolf's Magic Carpet Ride, awesome song. In the movie, I believe we're going to hear American Woman by the Guess Who. But the song being kicked around that summer was American Woman, the Lenny Kravitz cover. Not nearly as good, but it featured Heather Graham grinding around. And for whatever reason, Lenny Kravitz seems to get a lot of credit for it. Where do we find girls this skinny? Oh, and wow, is it Felicity Shagwell? Is that her name? I think it is. We'll see. Product placement. There was a Heineken commercial that kind of took place in this part too. It's like he's not quite the only male there, but he's the only male anybody's interested in. All right, now who is she? She looks familiar. Robin Swallows. I gotta look this up, sorry. He wants an answer. Here we go. Guess Who's American Woman? Lenny Kravitz version, not played at all. By the way, when this comes on and Heather Graham goes down the pole and walks over to Austin, I am just like, wow. I was pretty smitten with her for that summer, I'll tell you. Now, of course, you could see a lot more Heather Graham in some other movies. But this was my introduction to her, so I'll tell you that much. I shouldn't have said it like that, but you get the idea. Though she was the mom in Twins. I didn't know that. Man, the legs, the hips, we don't do that anymore, do we? We don't build legs like that. All right. She is Felicity Shagwell. Okay, so who is Robin Swallows? He was into Robin Swallows for a hot second. Gia Carides? I'm not familiar with her. You know, she was in Strictly Ballroom. I've seen that. I need to see My Big Fat Greek Wedding at some point. She's CIA, right? She American Contact. Austin Powers never a loss for words. Oh, we got an assassin. James Bond has done this move before. I believe that's how Domino was taken out in Thunderbolt. Thunderball, sorry. Oh, wow, Human Shield. Forgot about this. She's still going? All right, we're going to get more of this kind of weird effect here. Why does it look like trailing video right there? That's so weird, isn't it? More human shielding. There we go. And of course, she's got an American car. So she's got the Corvette Stingray here, draped in the flag, whereas, and it's also a bit more of an elaborate off-center look. Heather Graham, not the strongest actress. I mean, she looks good here. If you can get past the, golf ball eyes. But I think most of us really have to prefer, I mean, I don't think anyone's picking Beyonce's role, over Vanessa Kensington, right? So pointing out that we're actually shooting in California. Now, Will Ferrell was not a power at the box office, reprising his role from the first film. Ooh, she handled that cult well. Now, look, there is a Monk's Reward, a post-credit scene of him finally dying, I guess, in this timeline of sorts. We're not going to sit through the post-credit thing, but yeah, Mustafa here. I'm not going to go through that, but I just want to point out that I didn't see that in theaters. I'm pretty sure we left the theater believing that once the credits started, you could leave. And that was normal. All right, if you ask him 3 times, he'll answer. I could trade places with him right now, man. Pressed up against Heather Graham like that. I'll never tell you. One more time. Okay, there we go. Not a clear connection for Will Ferrell to Mike Myers, but Saturday Night Live, still not at the same time. He asked a different question. Do I really have to ask you 3 times? 2 more times. There we go. Mini-Me. Remember, Mini-Me did go in the past, though there is no Mr. Bigglesworth. Mr. Bigglesworth is frozen in space. You know something? The poisonous dart to the neck, that's probably a pretty good way to go, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. And see, she kind of plays Austin Powers' game, which I don't think is nearly as good as Vanessa, who is the modern woman butting heads against him. You know, if they're basically the same character, oh yeah, I shag great, and I have these cool death lines too, and okay, I agree with everything you do, or whatever. All right, we're kind of rehashing his not quite dead gig from the first film, which was stronger when he was thrown down the chute in the chair, Dr. Evil's conference room, but all right, you don't have to keep honking the horn. Fat bastard makes that much commotion. Did we see him walk at all in the previous scene? Fat bastard is more gross than he is funny. I think people really liked the brash humor that he offered. And I mean, we went to school in a time where just quoting the movie, the funny kid was the kid who saw the American Pie films and could quote them right away before everybody else knew the lines. And I'm not even saying like do the impression. It was really as simple as late 90s, early 2000s, say the line from the movie, everybody thinks you're funny. Look, you've seen Little People before, right? You know it's not a baby. Would he be familiar with the Chili's Baby Back Ribs song in 1969? I think it might have actually came up in the 80s. We're sure that's his mojo. Maybe drinking it isn't the best way to go about using it. Oh, it's like Cupid's arrow or love potion number 9. I think Dr. Evil's going to get a little sidetracked. This is actually sexier than it should be. We got the sheets coming up. This is like a Prince video. Things won't get weird. Oh, they're going to get weird. Saint Vit. I'm not familiar with that, but product placement, I don't know. Now, of course, he's from 1999, essentially, in some way. And he goes back to the past and he kind of comes up with the ideas. Like, I think he plays, if God was one of us. Hey, I wrote that myself. I think we'll get to that soon. What if God were one of us? Yeah, right? Felicity, honestly, a pretty weak character. Just exposition, something to look at, and not terribly convincing. I think we've got a stand-in over there for naked frozen Austin. Man, we skipped out of that scene quick. Oh yeah, I saw this poster in Walmart right after this movie of her in that shirt she was just in, that like barely comprehensible sweater dress, and man, it was, yeah, we see it right there. It was some hot stuff. I need to find that poster online just to like show you guys somewhere in the video here. Like, I don't, if I could find it. So you might even know what I'm talking about. Oh, the guard's lucky, and oh, remember, no one can resist Austin Powers. Oh, that got weird. Girls, bring back this outfit, please. Nope, no flying cars. Meal and a pill, not happen. Earth is ruled by damn dirty 8, so you got that right. Baby. Yeah, you're a groovy baby. Baby, too many babies. Nice. Burt Bacharach, recently deceased, with Elvis Costello, who is anachronistically supplanted into this film, kind of, but I think they did a fair job recreating swinging 60s London for what they needed here, didn't they? Oh geez. Get that leg. There we go. No real depth to her character. It's not a dynamic character at all. You know, things didn't like immediately dry up for her, but I don't think Heather Graham really got this level of attention again, really. Even though in 99, she's like, along with Shannon Elizabeth, like one of the it girls of the summer. The awkward next day at the commissary. So how are things? Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Where are these guys driving in the background? They're just driving along. There's a sunken floor here, but okay. I'm always dropping popcorn under my seat. Oh, I know You'll Never Love Another Man. Yes, that is true. Mm-hmm. This I'm Late came up in another movie I watched recently. What was that? Scott is an interesting character. The abandonment with this whole talking it out, let's go to therapy type angle of the times. So tickled by Mini-Me. She is so abundantly on board with Austin. You would think she was playing him, like she's actually an agent for Dr. Evil. She said shag very well by reputation. What do you think's happening here? Oh, also, one of the weird things about him going back in time, his teeth are okay in 99. Goes back in time to 67. Teeth instantly bad. Sensual massage. Look, you're a teenager and like 15, 16, and oh, hey, Itchy, it's a big theater. Even if it says PG-13, this is still kind of hot. Kind of like, are we really going there? They did it in Titanic. Are we going there? I don't know about these girls that are that eager. She's not even drunk. Come on. You turned down Vanessa because she was smashed. And that was a sweet moment. I guess I don't understand his... He said he can't explain. That is true. They didn't bother explaining. Why is he taking... Why would she be taking orders from him? She's American. Yeah, I wonder where we're planting that homing device. Madonna, Beautiful Stranger. I really dug this song that summer too, man. I think we have Austin Powers kind of making, room in the music video, but I do believe Jared Leto is also in the music video. And if it's not Jared Leto, it's another guy from Fight Club. There's a guy from Fight Club in the music video. think with spiked, bleached blonde hair. Look, did we want to see Felicity get it on with Fat Bastard? I mean, you can imagine what it'd be like if they did. But it makes you feel kind of gross for a character too, doesn't it? Oh, I had to. I'm secret agent. Not a discrete tracking device, but hey. 60s tech, right? Oh, so gross. It's more gross in HD. Laser. You guys never heard this term laser, have you? Lasers are a pretty 1969 pretty new discovery. I think came about in the early 60s. Even though it's a moon. Oh, but with Scotty here, all of this ingenuity he's trying to pass on here just doesn't quite work out because Scotty knows he's stealing it from Star Wars. Yeah, call it Operation Wang Chun, shall we? Well, yeah, we got to say .com on every commercial, 99. .com boom. Oh, you think something bad might happen to number 2 here? Not really. It's a bouncy globe. You want to see what happens when someone backtalks me? Oh, I like the celebratory punch kick. Stock footage, file footage there. And they matched it pretty decent. Yeah, it was a little grainier than what they're working with, but... No, you don't understand. She was with Fat Bastard. Oh, right. That's the reason why. I forgot. Sorry. I thought you were being a gentleman. That would have been funnier. Now, only really London had this mod scene thing going, didn't they? I mean, like, we had hippie counterculture sort of thing going in the States. Not this. Less history, more mystery. Don't tell me what you did with Fat Bastard. This looks like a level I completed the other night in GoldenEye 007. The stacks. When you had to get out of that interrogation room where it's going to tell you, then you could jump out a window, right? Right before the tank mission. Yeah, this is a little grosser than needed. I mean, it could be grosser yet, but still, what else did you think was going to happen to this tracking device? Oh, this is gross too. The first Austin Powers leaned less gross. You know who she looks like here? She looks like that wrestling gal, Stacy Keibler. Oh no, the fat bastard sample. Not good. Why did we have to put it in a picture like that? The results are in. That was used in the commercial, you know, right after opening weekend. The results are in. Austin Powers is #1. Yeah, we know from what he was eating where Dr. Evil's lair is. That's exactly how that would work. And he's going to drink it anyway. Yeah, that's I'm not really laughing at that. It's not a good gag. Could have just cut that a little early. Would he be familiar with the Oompa Loompa vibe? 1969. All right, so who do we got on president here? Tim Robbins. I was just thinking about him today because he came up in a tweet. This guy who says he's like the ultimate alpha male and he just looks like an average Joe said he was hanging out with Tim Robbins, and Tim Robbins was like, no, he's just a fan who wanted a picture. We took a picture. Now he's going to ask for too much money. Remember, the gag was 1 million. Now it's 100 billion. Why? Look, if you're from 1969, you're not going to say the year. By the way, that guy over on the right died. He was the sort of villainous American guy running the op in Rambo First Blood Part 2. I think that's him. Charles Napier. No, it's some lethality, the Island Pirates Project. If you are in the Island Pirates Project and you're touring, you should start your concert with that clip right there. Show a clip from Independence Day. That blowing up the White House, man, that sold some tickets. And I'll tell you, why am I forgetting his name? He never forgot because he destroys the White House in just about every single movie. Why am I not remembering things? Could it be something to do with a... how do I say this without getting canceled? You know that event that we shouldn't talk about? We were all supposed to get something so we could continue normal life? Roland Emmerich. There we go. Yeah, Roland Emmerich destroys the White House in like every movie. You know, do we think that without his mojo, Dr. Evil can get away with this now? Because so far, Austin has handled himself in these agent situations He's handled himself just as though his mojo was intact, right? Kind of like, what difference did that make aside from can't bed Heather Graham? So has a knife just because we want to spoof Dr. No was Honey Rider. Let's let Austin Powers do it too. Look, we know Heather Graham's stacked, but is she bringing more to the table in that department than Elizabeth Hurley? Because right at the beginning of this movie, man, geez. Here we go. Gonna sing a song for you guys. Thanks, I wrote that. And you didn't. Make sure everything I have, Mini-Me also has a mini version of. You had one job. I wrote that. Yeah, make sure Scott's out of the room when you do this, so he doesn't tell everybody. Scolds him. I can't stay mad at you. Ah. Ooh. Kind of a fun gag. They're pulling the binoculars when they're around someone's neck. Oh, boy. A worthwhile gag for Mike Myers. Oh, we're going to have some shadow fun now. It's got to be an easy costume to come by, right? Like the weird looking hard hat. Kind of look like maybe a fireman from Fahrenheit 451. Was that the number? You know what I'm talking about. It does that. Ooh. Oh. Just imagine if that was, well, oh my goodness. Yeah, I give Heather Graham some rat handling credit right there, I guess, right? This is sort of an original song to the vibe here, isn't it? He does have an original song in the next film that's hilarious, written by Mike Myers' wife at the time. I mean, it's hip hop. You're doing the sample, but you also got the original bars. I'll tell you what, man. Dr. Evil's got to be one of the best white rappers. By the way, 99. This is just as Slim Shady's coming up. Pretty good lyrics. I don't know if his wife wrote this one also, but because I haven't heard that brought up and mentioned. That may not be a 1969 What is it? Record player, turntable. Yeah. Because that was probably one of those direct drive. Is it Technics? Or is it Technics? Or Technics or Techniques? I'm not sure. We needed that racket. You can certainly see that the evil lair is a little more polished than in the previous film. Budget for this, I'm guessing, was probably double because first film was something of a surprise hit. Now look at that bikini thing she's got going. We have met. So what you got to say, huh? Oh, the news is coming to Austin now. I did what I had to do, and she's kind of proud of it. Does Fat Bastard need to be on site? I mean, he delivered the mojo. He could have kind of left by now. Freaking evil doctor. 30 freaking years. Yeah, okay. You don't hear a lot of frickin' in movies. I think the last time I heard it brought up Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. What did he say? We're the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. And I don't mean frickin' or something like it was lame. Would have been nice to have a subplot here where Fat Bastard sort of works in cooperation with Scott Evil to maybe kidnap the baby, Mini-Me. He's my special little boy. He didn't say little there. He's just special. I've been misquoting that for a long time. He's my special little boy. I think I've been misquoting that. Yes, we needed a bike to transport us 10 feet. Maybe give us a little bit of time to get inside. Does a volcano help launch a rocket? I'm telling you, Dr. Evil took over this film. Make sure you're tied down good there. You ever seen anybody sporting the Dr. Evil logo? If they did, would you recognize it? Would you know what the hell that was about? And of course, it can't just be a traditional shaped rocket. Well, We got Ron Howard's brother back here. Oh, that's I forgot his name, but he was on Saturday Night Live around this time. In Anchorman, he's the sports dude. Why am I not remember that? Got anybody else here we can recognize? Willie Nelson. Don't recognize the guy on the left. Why am I not remembering Ron Howard's brother? All right, I'm looking it up because I'm feeling stupid again. Clint Howard. I didn't quite have to look it up. I got close to having to look it up. But we can get the mojo back, maybe. I don't know. Austin hasn't had to shag some hideous giant troll. Shallow character. Wow, what a jump. Sarcasm. Might have actually been Mike Myers doing that. I wonder if they said Bob's your uncle. Okay, I may need to watch this part again in slow motion, frame by frame. I don't think much happened there, but that was a better comeback. Yeah, see, we already did that gag in the first movie. This is an enjoyable film. It's just not as good as the first. And I thought the third had more unique things going for it rather than just harping on repeating the gags. The moon base has been realized. Of course, more coincidental naming. Moon unit Zappa, moon unit. He said moon unit Alpha, moon unit Zappa already, didn't he? Yeah. So much screaming. Oh, the chair is acting up. The chair's possessed. Now, this thing could probably really get up some serious spin. I mean, you got an adult male sitting in there, probably weighing about 160, 170 maybe. Austin Powers private jet. Oh, yeah. By the time you're seeing this, you know the prep to launch a rocket. It's just so arduous that he died fairly recently, too. Man, why can't I remember his name? I believe we got stock footage from Apollo 13. Yeah, I mean, I say stock footage, but it's more like repurposed, really, isn't it? Oh no, Mini-Me's chair. Well, we must have an artificial gravity field of some kind in our moon base. Because it's otherwise keeping people on the ground, right? I do like how he says get the stick, as though this sort of thing happens. Tim Robinson didn't look too bad here. He aged very quick by the once the 2000s rolled in. I think living with Susan Sarandon will do that to you. You know, you could blow up the moon. Who would miss it? Well, the tides would be affected, but it's not like anybody needed it so much, anybody on Earth. We weren't relying on it for much, were we? Austin's going to come face to face with Mini-Me. Of course, Random Task is not back because I believe he has a life in prison sentence. It's a pretty gruesome story, not to be brought up here. Looks like Vern Troyer is doing a little bit of that stuff. I mean, yeah, no one else is going to be his size to do the handstand, right? I mean, your stunt double for Vern Troyer is Cabbage Patch. Look, I know this isn't the nice way to say this, but how much can a little person lift? How much? And how do you judge that? Because there's different types of these dwarfs. So what? I mean, what's going to qualify? Because he's on a really small end of that dwarf spectrum. Vern Troyer was. I like the throw. Oh no! Did I kill him? See, yeah, your stunt double for him is going to be like a doll, really. Oh no, he climbed inside. Now I have to wonder if Vern Troyer actually climbed in there. Yes, who does number 2 work for? And that would be death for Mini-Me, for sure. Man, that is not that bad of a tracksuit, I'll tell you. I think I could rock that. Giving him the Batman ultimatum. Save the world or save your girlfriend or save your Robin, which one of the two, you know? He blinks and he shoots a couple times and a dozen people fall to the ground. One of the lesser recalled gags of this. Good thing this is a movie that introduced us to a time travel concept. Dr. Evil doesn't seem to be aware of what happened to Mini-Me. I like that he had to turn on the speaker. Ow. Darth Vader type spoofing here. You're not his father, but in the next film we'll reveal that I believe you were his brother. Why tell him to go save her? I think he's yelling, good job. Good work. Oh boy, yeah. Top the levels there. Hasn't actually used Dr. Evil's time travel portal before, but knows how to use it pretty well. 10 minutes ago now. Mini-Me would have been in space by this point. I don't think it was 10 minutes runtime, but when he enters here, he's already off to Mini-Me. Of course, by 99, we could do the two actors in one scene thing pretty well. Of course, Austin Powers has this worked out that it's not that weird to him that a double of him is here to help. He just goes with it. And we saved Felicity. Still need the mojo. Looks to me like a CGI canister effect here. That's not too bad. As it was flipping. The mojo is gone, but can Austin Powers replenish his own mojo? Does his body manufacture mojo? It's it's not simply a time machine. It'll take you to the other, where the other machine is. So I'm saying the mojo really didn't have an effect on his agent, on his job, job performance. The 70s, the 80s, come on, there's gas storage, 70s, flock of seagulls, 80s. There's a little more happening, but okay. So she's going to come with him to 99. Austin Powers from Tim Minsko went through the portal also. But Dr. Evil took off in the space. Fat Bastard is in 99. It's not UPS, it's FBD. Well, you insist that you're dead sexy. Maybe he actually is if he can get Felicity Shagwell. Who are we to determine? Like I'm saying, he may not be that fat by today's fat standards. Kind of a forced touching moment here. As Fat Bastard copes with his affliction. Yeah, just go ahead and shoot him. Come on. The Mummy Daddy button. She kicked him. A bit of a callback there. That's for calling me crap. Saying I was crap in bed, huh? Shot in the pills. It's just not cricket. I like that line. Yeah, we just had these people on standby for a party. Sure we did. And I think there were a lot of the people that were in that club that he entered in 69. Of course, we got to retrieve Mini-Me, though I'm telling you, there's... Meanwhile, back in 69. So very dead. And we're going to do more of this working around what the ship looks like, by having different people say the word. I believe The Simpsons got away with this when when Mark Hamill appeared, and they said something like Obi-Wan, and then another character said Kenobi. Like they were trying to dance around it. Woody Harrelson in 1969? I don't think so. Flu shot for the coldness of space. Oh, yeah. Give him a sucker, because that's what you get when you get a shot, right? Oh, here we are with more Jerry Springer. Forgot about this. Let's see the Jerry Springer part. Dads who want to take over the world. Oh, Scott's looking a little different. That's my mom? This is where we learn that Frau is his mom. Frau Farbissina. No, nope. You weren't a test tube baby. What did we learn? No one can take your mojo. I think a lot of people miss out on that. Springer's final thoughts were actually rather poignant. Oh, 1 month later. Man, why? We got all kinds of stuff to sit through here in the credits, don't we? Oh, it's Austin from 10 minutes ago. Of course, the double in the shot thing's a lot easier with the camera being stationary. Oh, there's Lenny Kravitz's American Woman. Well, rather than subject you to Lenny Kravitz's awful cover, what do you guys think about Austin Powers' The Spy Who Shagged Me? Let me know in the comments below. I just don't think it's as good as the original. In fact, I'm not really sure if I really dug it this time around. Adios.